again. So today's tutorial is twist out on a blowout. So my hair has been blown out. Basically what I did was I did a deep conditioning treatment last night before I went to bed, and I just twisted it. So as you can see here, I had a twist here. I had about 5 twists. So 2 on the sides, 2 in the back, and then 1 in the center up top. And pretty much in the morning it was about 90% dry. Then after that I took down each twist piece by piece, so whatever the section was, and then I sectioned them in half. Okay, section them in half. Oops. Section them in half, and I spray my Shea Keratin Mist treatment. I usually do about 3 squirts per section, and then I do the thermal Shea Iron Guard, and I spray about 1 spray at the bottom, and that's just to protect my ends from getting heat damage, because we definitely don't want that. Okay, so now that my hair is all blown out, I usually do about 3 big twist outs. So I'm just gonna section my hair off the way I prefer it. And as you can see, I've already got this part here. And I don't use a comb, I just use my fingers. Because I like, when I take it out, first of all, I don't like you to be able to see the part. So that's the whole purpose of doing it this way. So you don't want like a straight, perfect part or anything like that. Okay. And my hair is, thickest in the crown. So I usually like this section to be the smallest. And I gather more hair on the sides because I feel like on the sides, the twist creates the same amount of volume. So when you unravel them, they all have the same texture and the same depth in the pattern of the curl. Does that make any sense, guys and dolls? Okay, so I have my section, and of course I'm sectioning that off. And I'm using the Yucca and Aloe Thickening Growth Milk by Shea Moisture. I was using the Curl Enhancing Smoothie, but for some reason I really like this. Even though it's for fine hair, I find that it works fairly well. I take a little dollop of that, and then I really just focus on getting it in my fingertips. Not on the palms, just mostly in the tips. And then I run my fingers like that. So the key is to get even distribution. That's why I'm putting the cream just in my fingertips, not on the palm of my hands. And as I stroke my fingers through my strands, I'm able to get even distribution of the product. So just keep working it on through, just like so. And remember, be gentle. Love your tresses. Just taking another dollop and applying a bit more product. I really like to get it close to my edges in the front. As you can see, I have some short bits that's sticking out if you look closely. And I'm sort of using a slight tugging motion. As you see, I'm working it through, but I'm also tugging it. This keeps the hair sort of in the same pattern. Now I have my spray concoction. This contains aloe vera juice and coconut oil, along with some sweet almond oil, as well as some jojoba oil and a bit of water. And I basically just shake it up to get all the ingredients. I only sprayed about a few squirts just to get enough for even distribution, some dampness, hydration, and moisture. So I began twisting my hair, and this is what you call a flat twist, of course. And for those of you who don't know, basically this is 2 strands, and I'm just twisting them, roping them, and gathering more hair into the twist as I go down the braid. And this is what it looks like. So taking that part down, and again, I'm using my fingers to separate the hair. You do not need a comb, that is optional. And the reason I don't use a comb is because when my parts are too precise, well, you'll see. When the parts are too precise, at the end when you take it down, sometimes you can still see the leftover parts, which I don't like. So sectioning it, pinning it up back up, and ready to twist again. So same procedure here. You take your dollop of the Shea Moisture and use it just on your fingertips and blend it all throughout the hair. Lightly tugging, be gentle with the tresses, but just try to get an even distribution of the product. Again, I'm twisting my strands. I'm using my diamond brush because sometimes the hair gets a little bit tangled because it's damp and wet. So I like to think the flat twist is fairly simple, but just in case. Basically what I'm doing is I'm using 2 strands, remember that's the key, over and under, and as you go over you bring the under layer and gather a little bit more hair with it, and you take it over and you go under and you grab the layer underneath. And just keep twisting all the way down. And just a small elastic band to tie it at the end. Now this step could be optional, but I like to use bobby pins to secure the twist. This keeps them from getting too poofy or unraveling at night or during the day while they're setting. Okay guys, so obviously let this sit for a while. The minimum you probably want to leave these flat twists in is going to be 2 hours. I've left mine in for about 4 hours, and I just went about my day, had to run some errands, and this was my daytime look. So loving it. Right now we're just going to take them out. And be very gentle separating the twist. This keeps down the frizz. Yeah? So just sort of, as you can see, I hook my finger underneath, then I just take it and gently separate it. And again, you find that little sort of mixed separation between the 2 parts of the twist. Now you see how it looks after it's all been taken down. Take your fingers, now this gets a little technical here. Take your fingers and work it, massage it in circular motions into your scalp. Slowly pull out, but not all the way down to the ends. This step is done all over your head. Now I'm just using my fingertips very gently and separating the ends. This is just for extra added volume. I added a little bobby pin to give it some pizzazz. Of course, that's optional. Okay, so there you have it, guys and dolls. This is the finished result of my flat twist out. This has been like my go-to hairstyle for like ever, and I've done it so much that I've perfected it so thoroughly. So, quick tip, the wetter your hair is, the deeper the texture of your curl pattern will be. As I said, did this on blowed out hair, and so therefore I only sprayed a little bit of water along with my Shea Moisture Yucca Aloe Thickening Cream, and so the more I created like a very damp texture, but I also kept it in for a while. So if you do something like this overnight, you'll be like, your curls will have more depth to them, so they'll have more like definition and be more defined. Sometimes I do this and I like more of like a beach wave, so it's not as the pattern of the curl is, I still do the 3 flat twists, and sometimes the pattern of the curl is just a bit looser. So if your hair's wetter, obviously it's going to take longer to dry, which means you'll have a deeper curl pattern, and the more dry it is, the looser the curl pattern will be. So even if you do this on like a drier hair, you can leave it, you're probably gonna need to leave it in for a few hours so that it can set. However, I could do something like this and set my hair for about 2 hours. And if it's like nearly dry, the beach wet pattern wave comes out a little looser. It's Friday night in New York City and I'm going out for dinner. So yeah, that's all folks. I will see you next time. Stay tuned. Cheers.